What can Turkey do to help stem the flow of thousands of refugees into Europe? European Council President Donald Tusk is in Istanbul today for crucial talks with President Erdogan as he seeks to find a solution to the refugee crisis. For Tusk, the number of people trying to enter Europe from Turkey remains far too high. He has raised the idea of shipping people who arrive on the Greek islands back to Turkey. Well, to understand how serious the situation is getting, here's a comparison of some of the key numbers. In the first 2 months of 2015, some 12,000 people reached Europe's shores. But in the same period of just this year, over 130,000 people have arrived. That's a tenfold increase. Over a third of the refugees are children. Well, Randolph Nogel is in Istanbul, where the meeting between President Erdogan and Donald Tusk is taking place later. Randy, the EU very much depending on Turkey to contain the refugee crisis. What are we expecting from these talks between the two leaders today?
Well, European Council President Donald Tusk is really laying the groundwork for a major EU-Turkey summit on Monday. It's there that European leaders will be pressing Turkey to really close off the Aegean route. That's the main refugee and migrant route into Europe. More than 800,000 migrants and refugees crossing into Europe via that route from Turkey to Greece last year. Now, Turkey will also be asking for the delivery of $3 billion in aid. That was part of an agreement made with the EU in December. That money has not been delivered, and details as how that money will be spent have not really been laid out quite yet. Turkey will also be pressing the EU for visa liberalization measures for its citizens, as well as for the bloc to speed up its bid for accession to the EU.
There's been a lot of talk over the last 24 hours or so about sending back refugees to Turkey that have made it into Europe or into Greece. What will Turkey think about this plan?
Well, Donald Tusk, while in Turkey, did sort of float the idea of a major operation to send migrants from Greece back to Turkey. He didn't really go into detail as to what that plan would actually look like. But to put it in context, Turkey is currently hosting 2.7 million Syrian refugees at a cost of more than $7 billion. So it's really shouldering a really large part of the burden. The government's position has repeatedly been for European leaders to do more to stop the war in Syria, which is really the source of so many of these refugees entering Europe.
OK, many thanks for that. Randolph Nogel joining us live there in Istanbul, and we are expecting that meeting between President Erdogan and Donald Tusk a bit later on today.